I'm Mandy and this is my channel Make It Sew. So it's been a while, hasn't it, again? Sorry. I looked in my diary and saw when I last did a vlog and it was almost 3 weeks ago. So my plans for Friday sews just went totally out the window, so I am sorry. So welcome if you've stuck with me throughout my journey on YouTube, and welcome if you're new here. I'm going to have a chat about what I've been up to first, so I hope that's something you like to hear, and then obviously go through what I've made in that time and what my plans are for the next couple of weeks. So first of all, I hosted a couple of virtual sewing room sessions, which I absolutely love. I like being a guest as well, because being a host you have to concentrate a bit more, and I never even think about trying to sew something because I'm worried that I might miss somebody waving at the screen because they want to have a chat or ask a question. So I'm very much like this at the screen for the whole time, but I do enjoy doing it. It's lovely to host them as well as attend, and if you haven't attended one before, you probably might have heard me talk about them before, but they are very relaxed sessions and you don't have to have your camera on, and you don't really have to participate in the chat if you just want to sit and listen. So sometimes I'm in the mood where I just want to get on with my sewing, and it's just lovely to hear everybody else talking, and you do learn a lot about fabrics that are available, and I try to shut that out at the moment. And you also hear about patterns, and I keep hearing all these different pattern companies that I've never heard of, but there's just in that background there a tower block that's occurring, and some of that there is a box of patterns that I forgot that I printed off. So I'm trying to stop buying patterns as well now. Big grin. But as you may have heard already, I am off to a different part of the world, and I may participate in some pattern purchasing as well as fabric, but my ban will be temporarily lifted while I'm out there, because that was the whole point. I was working on my stash and not buying anything. So that was my virtual sewing sessions. Also had a lovely chat with the other virtual sewing room hosts, which is Dee, who is part of the Sisters of Stitchcraft. I got it right. Also Jenny, who was the creator of Virtual Sewing Room, Lucy, who's the Sewing Gardener on Instagram, and B, who is B Curtis, I think, on Instagram. Sorry B, I will put it on the screen, but they're all really lovely people. We always have a chat, laugh, and end up laughing a lot, so I have to have tissues. But it was lovely to have a chat with them outside of the virtual sewing sessions. I also attended a Beautiful Things online chat on Friday, and I carried on sewing what I'm wearing, which I'll talk about in a little while. And I also had a Zoom with a few other vloggers a couple of weeks ago, which is Adam from Adam Sews, Tania from Just Let Me Sew, Rachael from The French Seams, Cara from So So Mad, Angela from Devon Thread Tales, and Katie, who is What Katie Sews on Instagram. Unfortunately, Sparkle Sam and Katherine from Overton Makery weren't able to make that one, but I look forward to chatting to them again soon. So a lot of chatting and a lot of online chatting, but that's the whole beauty of it. You don't have to be near each other to be able to keep in touch, so I really enjoyed those. So far, like I said, I haven't bought any fabric. I did order some interfacing again and some white jersey binding from the Fabrics by Penny community page on Facebook. I've mentioned her before, but I will put it in the description box below. And I've also got my Specky Seamstress subscription. So if you haven't got yours, which I'm hoping you have by now because I'm a bit late to the party, look away now and I'll let you know when you can look again, okay? So I got this lovely bias binding, which has got all these sunshines on, and that would have been lovely for my holiday make, but I've run out of time for those. And then the labels that I got are these ones. So you've got the tiny little ones with glasses on, which are perfect, and the top one says "Sewing makes me happy." And unless it's going wrong, I can agree with that statement. Sometimes it doesn't, and you'll find out about that in a bit. Editing Mandy here. You can look back at the screen now. I nearly forgot to say it, so I thought I'd better add this in. So that's what I've been up to. Hopefully that wasn't too long chatting. We're already on 5 minutes. Anyway, so I also, while I'm at work, I've been listening to the Love to Sew podcasts. Again, something, they've been around for a while, but I haven't had the chance to listen before. And when I'm working, I'm lone working quite a bit, so it's nice to have something on just to distract you from that. And I've also been listening to Sew What's New in the Biscuit Tin podcast, because they've got some out now as well. So they're really good to listen to while I'm working. It makes it less mundane. So, on to the makes. First thing I've made, I was talking about this in my last vlog, and that is another Friday Pattern Company Patina blouse, which I'll put a little picture of the stock photo in the corner of the screen. And I've already made, because again I was late to the party on this one, I've made 2 others, and that was something that was part of the Confident Capsule collection from autumn last year. I just hadn't got round to making it, and I wish I had, because I absolutely love them, and this isn't going to be my last one either. So I said I was going to be making it in this vintage cotton, which was purchased from, well, it wasn't purchased, sorry, it came in a box that Josh kindly gave me, and because I told him I like purple, he obliged. So I will put some pictures in so you can see it on, but I actually went for these buttons because I'm trying not to buy buttons either at the moment. So I've done one of each colour that's on the shirt, and I put a label in. I believe this was Specky Seamstress as well, and it says my new favourite make, because it is. I just happened to have, when I was condensing my hours for a couple of weeks, I had the Tuesday off, and I managed to, except for the buttonholes, make this on my day off from cutting out. So that is a lovely quick make, and I think once you've made one you definitely want to make more. But I don't do any alterations to the pattern. I did size down one from my normal measurements, but other than that, that's all I do with that. So that is my perfect pattern. And then the next thing I did, this is where it went a bit wrong for me. I had got, let me just find it in my pile of plenty. It's the Sew Over It Keira shorts, and I wanted to make these for my holiday. I bought the pattern when I went to the knitting and stitching show, I believe, last year. Might have been the Stitch Festival this year, one of the two. I've bought patterns from them both times, but I wanted to make those, and they are, I would say, a more tailored short, because they're very fitted. They have quite a few details. I'm going to insert a little video here of part of the making up of these, because I did my very first zip fly by myself. As you can see, you'll notice they're not finished yet, there's no waistband. So yeah, that was perfect. It went in perfectly. I've only ever done one before, and that was when I attended a ginger jeans course with Beautiful Things quite a few years ago now. So I was really chuffed that that went in perfectly first time. I used this purple cotton drill. I'd had it for a long while, and originally I'd planned to make a boiler suit. I'll put the pattern in because for the life of me I can't think of it at the moment, but I decided no, I want to make some shorts for my holiday. I want them to be purple, so I'm going to use it for this. Now, so I made it up. I had the pleats in, you'll see they're not there anymore, and I went to put them on, They went over my bottom and they fit lovely. The side seams sat perfectly, the pockets sat perfectly, the back side of the shorts looked lovely, even with the darts and everything. But when it come to doing it up at the front, my pleats popped, because I do hold my weight in the middle, so wearing shorts, that's obviously going to be where it's affected most when I make garments, and I couldn't put the zip up because of my tummy. So I'm now on the point where it's going to be have to be on my pile of whips, because I need to get that sorted so I can wear them. I've taken the pleats out altogether, and I'm hoping it is just a case of me extending the front 2 pieces of waistband, because it's in 3 bits, so the back bit will be fine because it sits really nicely. Even the rise is fine, which I was quite chuffed with. I'm not going to show you a picture because nobody needs to see my tummy on YouTube, so that is something I need to get sorted, but I don't think it's going to be before I go away, because I need to get my brain in gear for that. So that was one of my fails, unfortunately, but I am not giving up on it. So my next make was not a fail, although I did have some things during it that caused me a bit of frustration, but again, I sorted it. So that's my change of outlook, I guess, on my sewing. Now I've been doing it for a bit longer, I won't let it beat me as much, if that's the right way of saying it, because sometimes in the past, when I wasn't quite as confident with how I sewed, I would put it on my work in progress pile, and you're going to find out about some of those when I get back, because I am going to go through all my whips and explain why they turned into whips in the first place. And I think it would be a good journey for me as well, because I'll probably discover that some of the things in that pile are either never going to get done, or I can't understand why I didn't try and finish them or start them in some cases. So anyway, my next make, the Waratah wide leg pants, and that's from Waves and Wild. This one is the pattern I purchased after winning the Sew Blood Pressure Challenge this year, which was run by B, and she's B Silver Creates. I saw this pattern and I just thought that would be great, and they even have on their website a tutorial to show you how to convert trousers into shorts. So I really think after making these and how comfortable they are, I probably will try and make them for shorts for another holiday in probably a couple of years now, but I'm sure we will get some hot weather here for me to wear them. But with this pattern, I did a extra large, and they come in different styles. So you can either have a, I have to read it, I do apologise, a high rise with back pockets. The front comes with hip pockets, or you can have a low rise and also cropped. So you have several options. So I decided not to put back pockets on it, because they're not something that are going to be functional for me, and because this was the first time I'd made this pattern, I thought it might be better if I just did without. So I did the hip pockets, and I used this lovely fabric from a Think Pink subscription box that I had. It's a viscose, it's very, very slippery. I did struggle with the waistband to start with, because I was right at the end of my fabric. You get 2.5 meters, and if you've watched my unboxings before, you'll know I've now upgraded to 4 meters, but I had 2.5 meters for this. I did add some length to it, I believe. I think I added about 2 inches. I will put that on the screen because I don't want to tell you the wrong information, but I always have to do that. And I think they said that their inside leg was actually 27 27 inches from memory, and because, where is it, 28, I apologise, 28 inseam, and because I've done the Scarro pants before, I obviously wanted to make sure that I did extend these because that was less than what those were. So I'll put pictures of me prancing about at the end of this, but they are so comfortable. I like these because, as you know, I like the Friday Pattern Company Scarro pants, but what I liked was you have a flat waistband at the front, so it's more fitted, and then it's gathered at the back. But I was quite surprised because I thought you would only put elastic in the back of the trousers, but you actually put it all the way round like normal on elasticated waistbands, and then you just have to make sure that you give enough elastic so it doesn't stretch at the front. But they're just really comfortable. I'm just going to insert a little clip here because when I first did the waistband, it was fine when I fitted it in, because they do say make sure your seam allowances are accurate, and they were. It fitted perfectly when I put it on, but when I went to fold it over to then tuck it under and sew, it was just going adrift, I suppose you could say, and it was getting to the point where I was getting quite a big rug, and I thought, I'm not happy with that, I need to revisit it. So I actually took it off again, and then in this clip you'll see how I then put it back on. Right, so I'm currently making the Waratah pants by Waves and Wild, and the waistband fitted perfectly on the trousers, but when I went to fold it over, it just would not sit right and there was excess, so I've had to unpick it again, and what I'm going to do is cut out the interfacing with the pattern piece, and then I think what's happened is, because this was right at the end of my fabric, it's gone slightly so let's see if that works, because I really don't want to waste that pattern and that fabric, so wish me luck. Right, I'm back to where I was almost. So I've sewn the waistband back on, interfacing is a lot better this time, and what I've done is I've marked in quarters where the side seams are and also where the centre and the back seam are, just to make sure that I'm not going that way. So I'm going to see, you have to, it says when it's the other way round so that this is showing outside, pull it up by 1 centimetre. Basically means fold it over by 1 centimetre. So I'm going to do that this way because it's easier to press it, and I'll show you how I get on. So the second time it did fit better. I trimmed off about 1 centimetre off the waistband, and it's just because the fabric is so slippery. It feels amazing to wear, so I've got no qualm with the actual fabric, but it's just that it was difficult to keep it still while you're cutting it. I will put the pictures now of me wearing these, and I have got a ready to wear vest top that I'm going to wear them with for my holiday, because I haven't got time to make them, and it was a perfect colour, and for £3 I don't think I could have made it for that. So that's them. And the next thing, and then I made a free pattern I've had forever. I'm trying to use up all the fabric Josh gave me in the box from Legend Textiles, and I had this jersey and I got about 5 meters of it. I'll just show you the actual fabric without showing you the garment, and it's this one. It was a white jersey with butterflies on, and it's very stretchy, and obviously in a quantity it's quite heavy, which is where I went wrong with this make. But I'd already given some of it to my friend Claire, and she made a Largo top, I think it was, a vest top. So I still had loads left, and I thought I really need to use it up, plus it makes room in my drawer. So I did this free pattern from Mood Fabrics, and it's the Fleur Robe, because I thought, what else can I take on holiday that will be useful? And I thought, getting up in the morning, it'd be nice to have something just to whip on while I'm walking around the villa, and then I don't have to take anything else with me. So again, I'm going to put some pictures in, but before I show you them, what went wrong with this one. So the Fleur robe itself is quite long and it had pockets. I say had because it hasn't anymore. And I'm going to show you a picture of because of the weight of the fabric as well, how it looked on me. And you'll see that there's no way, I mean, the sleeves are huge. They are so long that I had to take off, I think it was about 5 inches. And obviously with that weight, it dragged and the pockets went on so well, but they were too low how they were. And I just thought, I don't want to just give up on it and leave it, because it will be a wasted fabric and it will end up in my work in progress files again. So I had a good look at it. I left it for a day because I was a bit disappointed, obviously. And I left it and I went back to it and I thought, right, it's heavy fabric, so I need to make it lighter. So I chopped off 11 inches and I took the pockets off, which was a bit difficult because it's thin jersey. I didn't want to make holes, but I managed to get around that by being very careful. And I sewed it up again because I used my overlocker for most of it. And as you'll see in the pictures, it looks a lot better. Now, the instructions for this one are very, very few and far between. And sorry, Starlark, they actually give you a run for your money, because unless you've sewn before, unless you've added a neck binding before, which luckily I have with the Marnie cardigan, you might not necessarily know what you're doing with it. But there aren't many steps to it. It does use a lot of fabric if you have the full length, but I still love it. And it's not going to be the last one I make, because I would like to make one with a better fabric, as in thinner and not so heavy. But it's a win-win. It now fits lovely. It doesn't feel so heavy, although saying that, my muscles are flexing as I do that. So it will be going in my case to pack. I feel like I've been talking for ages. So the next one was from Patina Emporium. I think I showed this when I said about what printing I'd got done. And this was the Getaway shorts, which were on offer at the time on their website for £5. So I thought, why not? I haven't got many relaxed short patterns. So this one has actually got 3 different lengths. I'll see if you can see that on the screen okay. And I wanted to go for the long version, but I wanted to do a toile. I'm trying to be good and do that now, because obviously with these sort of things the fitting is very important. But I didn't have quite enough of this scrap fabric that I used, so I had to go for the regular length, which it isn't too bad on me, but I would have preferred it a bit longer. So then after 3 length choice, you also get a choice of 3 different waistbands. So there's quite a few different options you can go for. And you get the top stitch waistband, an enclosed waistband and a covered waistband. And I thought I'd go for the top stitch waistband. The only thing I would say is don't do it when you're tired. Because when I looked at the waistband, it confused me which line I was actually meant to be cutting it out on. So I did cut it the full size originally, but I had a break, had a sleep, and then looked at it the next day and it made more sense. So definitely wasn't worth me trying it, and I'm glad I didn't do anything before I'd had a break from it, because I might have done it wrong. You also have extra options, like you can add cuffs to it. You can add a lace trim or a mock drawstring. So again, for £5, that was a really good deal. I had to go for the size 18. It's slightly loose on the elastic, but that's not a major problem, because I wanted something that fit me nice and easy rather than being too tight. At the end of the day, I'm going to Florida, I will be eating, so obviously I need a little extra space maybe in that area. So I'll put some pictures in again of me wearing them, because it's never the same as actually seeing them on. But I made the lovely hip pockets, and I also did the back pockets for this one. And then I had, again, buttons from my stash. I wasn't quite sure what ones to use. It's got this nice little turn tab detail, so I used them because they look like flowers for me. And this is just a cotton that I've had for years. I think I made a dress out of it, and I just had scraps. So the actual waistband, I think I had to make in a couple of pieces, but you can't tell. I'm sure I did on that one. So I'm really happy with them, and again, they'll be packed in my case. So that was that. And then finally on my makes is what I'm wearing. So if you've been with me a while, you'll know that I am a fan of the new Look N6650 pattern, and it's in knit fabric. It's a lovely dress. It has two styles, one with the tie and one with not. With my stomach though, I prefer the tie because I feel like it's hidden a bit, and it's that one. I have done a sew along for this one in the past, which I'll put in the description box below if you like to have a look at that, if you've not made one before. I always make it in size 18 again. And this jersey, so I'm going to insert a video, because I was going to take you along with me on this one to see how long it took me to make. So I'm just going to insert that here. Hello. So I was walking into work this morning wearing one of my new Look N6650s in this jersey fabric, and I thought, as I've been trying to think of a t-shirt dress I can go on holiday with, and I had this fabric to use, which is slightly a bit more stretchier than this one, I thought, why don't I make another one? So I'm going to cut this out, and I'm going to not do a sew along, because obviously I've done that before, but I'm going to time how long it takes me to actually make one of these dresses. And I know I've made, oh crikey, 3 or 4 now, but I just thought it'd be nice to bring you along and let you see how long each bit takes. So the first thing I'm going to do is obviously cut it out. It's all been washed. I got this fabric from a swaps table at one of Sequin Girly Sam's socials. So I wanted to do it justice, and I just thought, yes, this is slightly formal, but it's so comfortable. It's got a nice split so I can walk without feeling restricted, and I think it'll look really nice. So I'll come back to you when I've cut it out, and then you'll see how long it takes. So ready, steady, go. So that was it basically. I then had a virtual sewing session where I was making it up, the Beautiful Things one. So I couldn't really bring you along to that, and I'd also been chatting to a few friends while I was doing it, so that wasn't fair on them for me to film. But I said on the video I got this fabric from a swaps table for the Southern Social with Sequin Girly Sam, but I actually won it on a virtual Southern Social. It was a raffle that we all get entered into as part of the ticket, and I won it on that, and I picked it up at the Southern Social. This is why I got so confused, so I'm not going totally mad, but I absolutely love it. It is so comfortable. I've already worn it out. I finished it yesterday, and I went out last night in it. The only thing I did was the split slightly higher than normal. I don't know why I marked it higher, but it doesn't affect how I wear the dress. I actually love it, and as you'll see from the photos, it was a bit painstaking having to do so many pins, but I managed to get the stripes to match on both sides, and I'm really chuffed with that. So this is definitely another holiday staple that I will be taking with me. I think in total the dress took me about 5 hours with cutting out, and I will say a lot of the cutting out time was because I was trying to match everything. When I did sew it up, I did have to move it around slightly near the arm side, but it managed to go, and I am really chuffed with this pattern matching. As you'll see in the photos, I did unpick it once just to make sure, because I'm so particular with it, but if it's going to match, it's got to match. So I'm really chuffed with that one, and I'm sure yet again I will make more of these because they are so comfy. So that was my makes. So my plans this week are quite slim because I'm going on holiday halfway through the week. So tomorrow, Monday, I'm going to be packing up my lovely Benina as she's going for a spa holiday. She's going to have a service at David Drummond in Edinburgh. I've spoken to them and I've just got to get her all packed up in her original packaging, take lots of bits off, tape bits up, and she's going to feel like a new machine when she comes back. But they're very kindly keeping hold of her for the time that I'm away, so I couldn't have her go away while I'm here, because although I have got my Bernette machine that I use for socials, she is my favourite machine. And yes, I do call her Nina. I'm a bit mad like that, but why not? She does me proud quite a lot, and I think it'll do them good to have a service and a good clean, because she hasn't had a service since I've had her, and she's been a Trojan for me. So that is her holiday, and she's going on Tuesday. So other than that, if I get a chance, I will look at the Keira shorts again, but probably not. I just want to say the Pattern Emporium, I didn't mention at the beginning when I was talking about the Getaway shorts. Their instructions are absolutely brilliant. I love Friday Pattern Company's instructions, and this is another company that they're just really, really detailed instructions, and it is like holding your hand, which is perfect because I don't like where I'm trying to guess what actually I need to be doing next. Also, I want to give a really, really big thank you and mention Sharina, who donated on my Ko-fi account. I do mention it in the description box that I have a Ko-fi account, but it's a totally no obligation for that. I don't expect people to pay me to talk about sewing, so I really appreciated that, Sharina. Thank you so much. Also, what else am I planning to do? Well, as don't know if you'll be able to see in the background, I'll just move my camera slightly. I have got a tower there, like I said, and I've had such a good sort out in my sewing room because it was getting so disorganised again. I've found a lot of patterns that I'd got printed off and I just haven't cut out, and I haven't put on my stash hub. So I'm going to sit here once I've packed, of course, and go through my patterns, even if I just add them on stash hub, so I know what I've got for when I go fabric shopping in Florida. I am hoping while I'm in Florida, I'm taking my GoPro and lots of cards, memory cards, and I'm hoping to film some of my visits to fabric shops, because I'm sure you've seen inside of Joann's before, but when we come over from the UK, Joann's is just like Hobbycraft times about 4 at least. There's obviously more things available, and it's just like a candy shop for us. So if I can make other people enjoy that as much as I do, then I'll be filming it. And also obviously Hobby Lobby and Michael's and any other things that I find while I'm there. Also the Sorrento reveal, I've talked to you about this before. I'm doing a collaboration with Laura from So Very Laura. That is definitely happening around the 8th of September when I go to the Scothern Sewcial in Lincoln, which is run by the lovely Emma, because Laura and somebody else, I don't know if she'll want me to mention it yet, are coming. So we're going to reveal them on the same day, because we thought that'd be lovely to get together and both be wearing our Sorrento makes. So I'm also going to try and show what I'm wearing on holiday, because some of the things I'm taking are obviously me made. I don't really buy many things anymore from clothes shops unless they're jeans or basic essentials, because I do like to make things and I do have a lot of fabric to use, so I can't justify buying clothes as well. And I hope you all have a lovely week sewing, and let me know what you've been up to in the comments below, what you'd like to see if I'm doing my vlogs over in Florida, and I love to read them. I hope to see you again in a couple of weeks for a Friday Sews. I will try really hard to do it on a Friday. Thanks for watching. If you don't subscribe already, I'd love you to join my channel. It's gradually getting there and growing, and I just appreciate all your support, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Take care for now. Bye.